I am extremely bullish about MCPs, and GitHub is jumping into the mix with their MCP registry. And that's what we're going to talk about. So I do probably, not to brag, have, I would say, one of the more popular videos and articles on Medium about MCP registries, because if MCPs are going to be that powerful, having a registry where you can go in and find all the MCP servers you need to use becomes extremely important. And this was something I saw very early on. So link to this article will be in the description below. Check it out. Now, let's talk about the GitHub MCP registry. You can come in. Again, my entire workflow revolves around GitHub today. Everything I do, I'm pushing it into GitHub. And so I tend to spend a lot of time within the GitHub ecosystem. I don't use them for the generation. I use them for the versioning of my artifacts. I mean, it's a game changer. But that's not what we're talking about. Let's focus on this MCP registry in front of us. And I'll give some commentaries about it, my thoughts. And I think it's a good move, in my opinion. So in here, you can come in. There are several models that are available, several registries that are available for you to use. Obviously, GitHub, mark it down. Let's see what's available. Stripe, MCP, Elasticsearch, interacting with that. Neon is in there. Monday, to-do list. Hugging Face. This is an interesting one. We'll come back to that. Postman for APIs, Atlassian, Figma, Zapier, Box. So your typical providers are already in there. And I'm guessing GitHub probably collaborates with them and probably vets this out before the registries do make it here. So let's say let's work with one. I'm tempted to use a GitHub one, but I think I have that already. So let's use Hugging Face. So I can click on this Hugging Face MCP server. So this is the official one from Hugging Face. Some of the registries I put into this blog just to talk about this, I did a while back, were not official. So having the official one from Hugging Face does come with a certain level of security and credibility of both GitHub and Hugging Face. Here you can install that to VS Code, copy the link. I've already done some installations and I'll talk about that in a second. Let's scroll down. There's an MCP. So if you don't know what Hugging Face is, essentially Hugging Face allows, let's just go to Hugging Face. Here it allows people to find and download and use models, pre-trained models, data sets, and then they've also built a very robust collaborative space around the ecosystem. Very popular. I think they're based out in, I believe the team was French that started Hugging Face. If you want to grab models or interact with this, you can now do so using the MCP. So what I did was I came into Cursor a few seconds ago and I spent some time. The installation is pretty straightforward. What you're going to want to do, and I have to make sure my access here doesn't quite show all, so can't quite see all my tokens. All right. So what you're going to want to do is essentially come in, add a new entry into your mcp.json. So go over to files, go over to actually Cursor settings. It will take you to Cursor settings. And then you want to go to tools and MCP, and then find the MCP where you need it. I already installed a couple of ones here. If you don't have the Hugging Face MCP installed, there are 9 tools. Go ahead and edit that. And then once you have that, if you don't have it yet, just paste this configuration into that file, or you can ask Cursor to do it for you. Cursor will take care of it for you. You will need an authorization token. How you get that would be very easy to do. Just go over to Cursor, to Hugging Face, go to access tokens, click on that, and just create a new access token, give it a name, call it TEM2, and I'm going to delete this right afterwards. So just give it a name, create a token as such, go below, create that, and grab the token. Don't show your tokens because I'm going to delete this. Let's actually just delete it right away. Just copy that token. So that's deleted, and then paste that into your authorization here. And that's essentially what you need. Now you can come back and do something like, once you have that MCP enabled, because I do have it enabled, and I'll delete it right afterwards just for the sake of the demo here. I can say something like, what spaces do I have in my Hugging Face? And it should use the Hugging Face MCP. So Hugging Face warm-up, it ran that tool. It's now running the search tool. It does have a couple of tools. Let's see what tools it has. So there is a warm-up tool, space search tool, data search tool, model detail, data set detail, paper search tool. Oh, you can actually search for papers. So it's giving me that. The API return no spaces. Okay, no spaces. That's fine. I don't have any spaces. So let's do, and bear with me again. I'm going to delete this bearer token, so don't even bother. For those of you who are sensitive to that, let's say what data sets available for banking to use for creating a tutorial. So now I want to see how it does the data set search, because I tend to use a lot of data sets when doing demos. Oh wow, it's giving me some good data sets. And now you can simply just grab those data sets and bring them in and use for your demos or use for your tutorials, which is extremely powerful to have. I love it. I think for those who have seen this credential, I think this is the credential we created. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. And that credential is gone. And if we try this again, just to verify that we've taken care of that credential, I'll copy this, rerun this. It's a banking, let's say manufacturing, just to be sure that token is not usable, and it should hopefully fail with an error. Authentication error invalid. Okay, so I think we're good from that perspective. So just going back, Hub is jumping into this whole space of model registries, MCP, model context protocol registries. And I think it's pretty interesting for them to jump in here. MCPs are here to stay. How relevant they become in the future, I think, is still up for debate, but they are definitely here to stay. And for things like Context 7, I use this a lot. Zapier, people who integrate with that, I could see it being very powerful. And there are just, it's a wild west right now with this MCP repository areas. But if GitHub is going to jump in on it, and I think the credibility they bring, I could see more folks preferring, especially at the enterprise level, to leverage the MCP servers from here as opposed to just something off the shelf you don't know who created and cannot vet for the security. There you have it. Go check it out. MCP Registry from GitHub. And what that means is we're going to have to update this repo or this blog post and include GitHub into the mix in addition to the others. So hopefully this was helpful. As always, this is Fru here with Demo Hub. We make demos and tutorials around tech, data, and AI. If you found this valuable, give it a thumbs up. If you like this, share it with somebody. As always, I will see you in the next demo.